I think, yeah, there is recording, but I cannot share my screen. How to share it? Or host team, you can share my PPT with everyone because I'm still not able to share the screen, and sometimes, I feel that my mic is also turned off. Now I turned that on again, but I don't know how to share it. If you can guide me, Shafkat.
अच्छा मैडम, शेयर का अगर आप उनको ना शेयर के आप उसमें जाएंगे।
Yes, I'm already doing that, but there is an option, and it is written that host has disabled it. You can just see that. I'm trying to do that. Okay. Now I think that it is open. Let me share my PPT with everyone.
हाँ जी मैडम, हो
So
रही है।
hopefully,
जी जी मैम, विजिबल
hopefully,
है।
yeah. Okay, okay. Um, 1 minute, please. Well, Assalamu alaikum, everyone. I'm very thankful to the president of IIRS for giving me this opportunity to speak on this very pertinent issue, and it's Pakistan's foreign policy amid the US-China tensions. So it is a very important topic for all of us, and I hope that I'm audible to everyone. If there is any distortion, please let me know because you are receiving message, Shafkat, so you can just share that with me because I think that I'm not using other mics, so therefore I would say that this mic is computer's mic. So if there is any problem, please let me know. Well, Pakistan's foreign policy, it is very important, as I already said, that because we are living in a region where there is, there is a kind of environment of hostility around us. So how to evade that? There is a need to understand it. And as a student of international relations and those who are working in different think tanks, I think that this would be one of the important issues to know that how to reduce this tension and how to navigate in this environment. So first of all, I think there is a need to understand that what sort of tension we are facing. I mean, is this tension something emanating from inside or this is from outside? So definitely we are talking about US-China tension, and this is not specific over one issue. There are multiple issues going on between these two states. So these are, namely Indo-Pacific region where the two states are particularly China and America. I mean, leading some alliances and groups as well over there. So they are entangling with each other. Another area of their tension is their Taiwan, which is a flashpoint of hostility. We know that how America is supporting Taiwan, and whereas China itself is considering it one of the important area. Besides, both states are also busy in advancing their weapons, and both of these two states are having a race of advanced weapons to make their weapons more accurate. And day by day, we can see this that they are now using even other states where they can test their weaponry system. And besides that, the growing military alliances, it is another area of tension where China is leading its own group, whereas America is leading its own group. So this is also becoming a cause of tension between these two states. So cyber is another area where these two groups, where these two states are trying to lead each other, and this has also become one of the prong of the security dilemma between these two states. So we can say that all of these problems which are emanating out of these issues. There are a number of other issues, but I would not go into the nitty-gritty of these issues. Rather, I would focus on Pakistan's foreign policy options, because this is the one most important thing which I believe that we would not be able to cover that just in 20 to 25 minutes, because I was asked to speak 20 to 25 minutes. However, I would try my level best to cover everything which has given to me. Now, these were some of the areas of tensions of which I explained earlier, but I think that it would not be justified if we would not look at the US and China's competition in terms of their economy as well. So these are some of the healthy indicators where we can see that both of these two states are trying to cross each other. But there are so many indicators to gauge any country's economy. However, I'm just using one indicator, and that is the GDP, and that is that is in front of you. You can see over here that the 30 trillion US dollar GDP was in 2025, and this data has been taken from Statista, and everybody is familiar with that. So source is given over here so that you can, because different websites, they are giving different data, but this data is taken from that website. And number two, you can see that China is now is at the second largest. This is at the position of second largest economy it holds, and almost $19.23 trillion. We can see that the GDP of China is in this current year. So this is quite interesting to see how China and America, they are leading, and it is therefore very important for us, for Pakistanis, to know that how to navigate in this complex time with where these two states are, very powerful. So what to do in these circumstances? On the other hand, if you look at this map, which is showing the military presence of China and America. So 742 military bases. And just imagine, and the source is also given over here, because this is not something which I made or I prepared. So these are some of the sources to justify that and to make it more empirical, that from where I'm getting this data. There can be some discrepancies in other sources as well, but for the timing, let's suppose if there is something which is wrongly mentioned over here. So we can just ignore that. And even we can easily gauge it with the number of bases of the Chinese military bases, 29 military bases, and on the other hand, the 742 military bases. Now, I'm not going to talk about that how many countries where China is engaged and how many countries where America is engaged, because this debate will become longer. Instead of covering all these aspects, again, coming back towards because these are the strengths which we must know so that we can understand. And in this setting, we can see that the balance of power, this has been, changed. And the US military still, it seems, because if we look at the MICs, the military industrial complex of America, and then the military industrial complex of China, we can figure out that both of these two countries are now in a race. And this military competition and then the economic competition is pointing out that the balance of power is shifting and the future of military dominance is therefore becoming uncertain. Because day by day, we can see a change in the Chinese capabilities. So this is giving us a very interesting background. And in order to understand that, the position of Pakistan, because on the one hand, one great power, that is United States of America, and on the other hand, China. So we cannot ignore. So dilemma is that what to do, because if you look at America, it is very important for Pakistan, and we cannot we cannot leave America altogether. What is the reason? So the reasons are being reflected over here. You can just see the first point, which where I want to highlight that this is the Cold War era when America started to help Pakistan and the defense ties became very strong. So we cannot ignore history because this is the reality that Pakistan and America, they were strong allies during the Cold War era. Then it is another important point to understand that America was the state which, one of the states which quickly recognized Pakistan, and it also supported Pakistan against the spread of communism, because this was the time when Pakistan was formed. So we can say that at that time the rivalry between these two countries, United States of America and USSR, it was at its peak, because soon after the Cold War, we have seen this thing that both of these two countries were already in entangling. So Pakistan's location is another important factor, which is making Pakistan very important for the United States of America, because US is considering Pakistan important as it is bordering state of China. It is also bordering state of some of the Middle Eastern countries are at the borders of Pakistan. So it means that these are the factors making Pakistan very important for the United States of America, and that's why this would not be easy for America to leave us. No matter that there are many writers writing on it against Pakistan, we have seen that many a times, but even with this fact, we cannot ignore that this reality that America needs Pakistan. Almost 600,000 Pakistani, they are residing in US today, and here I have used this reference over here from where I'm getting this data. So data, there is the small writing where you can see that this data has been obtained from this website. And on the other hand, if you look at the Americans in Pakistan, so apparently speaking, so they are again present here in Pakistan, and they are almost 50,000 Americans they are residing. And this data has been taken from the Ministry of Interior of Pakistan. So this data is a bit old. I'm in 2021-22, but as far as to fetch the fresh data, it was very difficult for me. So therefore, I just started to rely on the data which was available easily on different websites. So the biggest embassy of America is also in Pakistan. Now, all these factors are making Pakistan important for the United States of America. And then why United States of America is important for Pakistan. This is another important factor to understand, because this is not merely the American need. I mean, we also need America. Why? Because it was, as I already pointed out, that it was an important ally and very quick recognition to Pakistan. Then Pakistan's main concern, definitely, we all know that is India. So this is a fact which brought Pakistan and America close to each other, and America started to help Pakistan. No matter there were some eras where there were fluctuations between these two states, but we cannot ignore this factor that America started to support Pakistan when it was, it was observed that Pakistan is in dire need of an ally to counter India's coercion. So on the other hand, you can also see there is another factor which is written over here, that students, so the number of students in 2022 to 2023, these were almost Pakistani students. The figure says that more than 10,000 Pakistani students. And then when we start looking at the economic assistance, so it can also be derived that America was throughout Cold War era, and even after that, America was helping Pakistan, and the IMF loans, we still know that this and very popular here in Pakistan, and this would not be difficult to understand that what sort of need Pakistan is having for this particular state. And on the other hand, one more point, that is the largest export market is US for Pakistan. So I will explain that in next slide. So Pakistan cannot ignore a great power because definitely we are living in a globalized world. We are very much dependent on each other. So this also is an important factor. Besides international system and institutions which are mostly headed by America. This is another important point, which is making America more important for Pakistan. Now I am bringing you people back to another important country, that is China, definitely another great power. So why Pakistan is important for China? As I was highlighting that Pakistan is important for America. Similarly, Pakistan is important for China as well. So Pakistan's location is making Pakistan important for China because we all know that the Xinjiang province of China, which is mostly, the area which is considered an area where there is, a troubled area. I can say that for China, it is very important because China is connecting its western border with the outer world through this particular province. And that's why Pakistan, since it is a neighboring state of China and it's part, the Xinjiang province, that is linked or connected with Pakistan. So this is an important factor making Pakistan important for China. Defense and security cooperation, this is very important, and most of the Pakistani students, they are very well aware that the joint projects like JF-17 Thunder, so these are the fighter jets and over which the both countries are together, and this technology transfer is directly dated here in Pakistan and very important for China. So the intelligence and the counter-terrorism, definitely over the region of Xinjiang. This is the area where the counter-terrorism activities are going on, and both of these two states together, I mean, with the collaboration of other states as well. However, this debate is not actually, I don't want to bring it over here, but we know that with the help of other states, so this intelligence sharing is another important component, bringing these two states close to each other. And the geopolitical alignment, definitely this Quad, emergence of Quad, and then I2, U2, and there are other grouping of the states which are definitely empowering India. So to counter that, China needs some alliances which can, make its voice more powerful, and definitely Pakistan is the right state to counter India. And then the diplomatic relations with the Muslim countries, China definitely having Muslims in its own state, the different groupings are there. So these groupings indeed are very important, and to cooperate and to wage good relations with other countries. Pakistan's friendship with China is therefore, it matters a lot. So another important point for China is to maintain peace there in Afghanistan and definitely in the entire region. For that purpose, Pakistan's support is direly needed because we are sharing a long border with Afghanistan, and definitely Chinese border is also there with Afghanistan. So the China-Pakistan economic corridor, after 2015, the whole scenario got changed, particularly after 2013 when this BRI project, this was first time announced in Kazakhstan, and after that, Pakistan and China's relations, one can see that these are nowadays more, strong after the announcement of these projects and after the initiation of these projects. So energy security, definitely China is in need of some secure pipelines and transport corridors, which is only possible through Pakistan, because on the other hand, if we start looking at the South China Sea and Asia Pacific region, so we can find out that there is a tension going on. So to evade that, China is relying more on these routes. And definitely it would also increase the demands for Chinese good if China establishes its relations with Pakistan. Now I'm coming towards why China is important for Pakistan. I mean, I just pointed out that Pakistan is important for China, and then similarly for America. Similarly, for China is also important for Pakistan. So it means that both of these two states are very important. So very quickly, just skimming these points that security partners, both of these two states are security partners. I have already highlighted that. It's a neighbor of Pakistan. And I think it would not be a good idea to say that Pakistan should not establish its relations with China because definitely a great power, one important factor. It is a security partner. It is also helping Pakistan to counter India. So this is the most important point, and Pakistan's defense supplier as well. Pakistan's economic relations with China are becoming more clear after the initiation of this CPEC project, and we can easily grab this idea out of these investment, which is popular one, this more than $60 billion which China has promised to spend on Pakistan. And yes, it is spending on Pakistan, where we can see many energy projects. We can also observe the infrastructure changes and day by day. And the trade partner, Pakistan is exporting its textile and its minerals, its agricultural goods to China, though it is not a good level of trade because there are more imports from Pakistani side. Pakistan is importing more, and as far as its exports are concerned, these are less. But still, we cannot ignore this partnership because one of the important trade partner for Pakistan. So technology and the development, it is another power plants here in Pakistan, one can easily observe. And during the time of this peak, when it took initiative to start these projects, that there are not in Pakistan, but I'm just accepting this, that this has been significantly decreased. So as far as the diplomatic shield is concerned, China is very important for Pakistan as a great power. And there are stances where China was, helping Pakistan, and particularly supporting Pakistan's stance on Kashmir, and was also ready to counter India's narrative on many platforms. China is also having a unique power, that is its veto power, and nobody can deny that. So these are the factors making China important for Pakistan. Now, some of the economic factors which I am now just trying to bring your attention towards this particular issue, that is the imports of Pakistan from China and then from US. So the imports from China, from Pakistan, like the statistics were taken, and it is given at the bottom of the slide. So the Chinese imports the imports from China to Pakistan in May 2025, I mean, the recent data, it shows that it was $1.8 billion. Similarly, Pakistani exports to China, these were less in number, 181 million, but still significant. If we look at Pakistan's manufacturing and all these, exports. So, but when we observe America, so it is altogether, different. Here you can see that the imports, Pakistan import almost $233 million worth of goods from the US. Here I'm not adding services, please, because when we talk about trade, so goods and services, both sometimes we include, but I'm just focusing on the goods. So the exports to the US, here this shows Pakistan and America's trading relations, because the Pakistani exports towards America are more as compared to China, because the worth of these exports are 5.2 for $7 billion. So it is almost 17% of Pakistan's total exports. And this is a very interesting aspect to note that why both of, I was just trying to highlight the China and US tension, and then China and US importance for Pakistan, and Pakistan's importance for both of these two states, because this is not a one-way game. Now I'm coming towards the point that what should be the foreign policy choices for Pakistan. So there are many, basically, but to make it more crisp, it would not be wrong to say that Pakistan should maintain its ties both with China and with US. I mean, just to make it crisp, I know that it is very difficult and it is easy to say, but when you start such kind of diplomatic relations with these states, so they would not be accepting that. But there are strategies that how to do it. And very interesting thing is that Shafkat is asking me to speak publicly, and this should be known to everyone. So therefore, however, I think that there isn't anything secret, because these are some of the diplomatic implement that is more difficult. However, there are some suggestions, and as an academician, I think that this is the right platform to speak out, because with China, I think we should continue our defense cooperation, and so that we can gain the political support of China. Then with the US, definitely we cannot ignore United States of America for its security and trade cooperation. As I already highlighted, that almost 17% of its trade, Pakistan's trade, is just going into the US. I mean, this is one very important point to understand. And another thing which I already said, that not to pick sides. I mean, not to say that we would just be making China our friend or making US our friend. I mean, you are living in a world where you are connected. Even if you look at the China and US economy and their trading partnership. So it is not astonishing, it is not surprising that both of these two countries are entrenched in terms of economy, and they cannot, and this is inseparable economies. I mean, they have a very good trade relations. So the many American companies, I mean, car companies, and there are so many other companies which are working there in China. Regardless of this thing, that nowadays we are just observing that some of the statements are coming from America and the increase of tariffs and etc. I know all that, but again, it is very difficult to separate both of these two states. And here I would also like to refer the very important work of Graham Allison, the Thucydides trap, where he is quoting himself that there are chances that both of these two countries would go towards war. However, at the end of that work, he himself is accepting that there are many points where both of these two countries would not go for war. So I would be explaining all that, but here I'm just talking about Pakistan's choices. So Pakistan should use these multilateral forums and the United Nations, definitely on the one hand, United Nations, on the other hand, Shanghai Cooperation Organization. So both of these two are very important multilateral forums where Pakistan can raise its voice, its issues, not at these two platforms, on the platform of these two organizations, but even OIC, which is the second largest organization in the world. So I believe that these are the multilateral forums, and highlighting Pakistan's non-alignment. So it can be astonishing when I would be saying that Pakistan should adopt a new non-alignment. I mean, in non-alignment, it was very, very clear during the time of Cold War, but nobody can ignore this fact that how India utilized that and how it is used that. So I think that this new non-alignment, this is another important thing, and policymakers, they should look at this option as well, and they should Pakistan should engage both sides for the preservation of its own national interests. And in international relations, I don't know that who is with us right now, because the organizer, the president of IIRIS, he just asked me to join. I'm unable to see that how many participants are there and whether they belong to IR. But here I have used this word of hedging, and those who have this background of international relations, they are very well aware with this idea that what hedging is and how to use that.
मैडम,
So,
सॉरी फॉर सॉरी फॉर इंटरप्ट यू, बिकॉज टाइम 1 मिनट रह गया है, क्योंकि वो उनकी टाइमिंग थी, तो उसके बाद ये 1 मिनट में एंड हो जाएगा, उसके बाद हम ना
again,
हम सेम ही लिंक से हम ज्वाइन करेंगे, प्लीज अगर आप
again, you will be joining it.
जी
Acha,
जी,
I'm so sorry.
प्लीज
So,
कंटिन्यू मैडम, कंटिन्यू।
there is only
ओवर टू यू
one
मैडम,
slide.
ओवर टू यू मैडम,
All right. All right. So there is only one slide left, but just let me complete if you want to open it for question and answer session. So the second point that I want to highlight, it is about the issue specific partnership rather than alliances. We should not go into alliances. We should now try to find out that the partnership, it should be issue specific now. So don't make permanent alliances as we did in the history. So the alignments with China, with China